At this moment, Titan's heart had transformed into the fallen angel Iwear, her body wrapped in black wings. Yu widened his eyes in astonishment at the sight, his heart secretly trembling. I can feel the aura of the Void Emperor on her. Not only that, but there were also countless other Void Sovereign auras lingering around her. The remnant strands of Titan's heart's violet spiritual energy were gradually absorbed by the fallen angel Iwear, cocooning her body like a chrysalis. Seeing this, Yu immediately understood. The fallen Titan is dying. The so-called plan he spoke of was nothing but a lie. All he wanted was to seize the chance to kill me, and use my strength to nourish this fallen angel. Thinking so, Yu raised his draconic claw and tore apart the cocoon of spiritual energy before him, causing the violet aura to explode in all directions. He roared furiously, "Damnable thing!" In his palm, the cocoon suddenly burst into a dazzling violet beam that shot straight into the heavens. In the very next instant, swish, Iwear's black wings unfurled wide. She had finally been nurtured by Titan's heart and completed her transformation into a true entity. At the same time, the system revealed her details: fallen angel, extraordinary rank 5, innate talent, void wings, from divinity fallen into the void, capable of unfolding the wings of nothingness. Special abilities: blade wings, from her wings radiates destructive light. Mind shift, move objects with thought. Teleportation, instant movement even under enemy assault. Fallen might, causes the consciousness of opponents to blur, leading them into corruption. Void spear, her left arm transforms into a void spear that pierces through foes. Divine power, void radiance, corresponding to the angel's heavenly purple light, capable of transforming an enemy's strength into void energy. Iwear lowered her head, white hair veiling her face, and spoke softly, "Master." Yu was slightly stunned as he looked at her. She has already acknowledged me as her master? Not bad. With that thought, he shifted his gaze toward the blazing crimson Titan's heart nearby. So next is this. The Titan's heart is nothing more than the condensed origin of strength that grants a gigantic body. It may enhance power and defense, but at the cost of greatly reducing speed. Without hesitation, Yu swallowed it whole. The crimson spiritual energy erupted into light, spreading around the entire area. The fallen Titan's dwelling instantly fell silent. A heartbeat later, Yu's body suddenly expanded, crushing the small secret realm of the fallen Titan under his colossal frame. Not only did his body grow larger, but his outward form also underwent an overwhelming transformation. The system indicated it was the Void Emperor form. Sensing his own change, Yu couldn't help but sigh inwardly. Even larger than before. At the same time, the system updated his new ability, Void Dragon Roar, awakens slumbering void creatures. Yu's eyes glimmered with sharp light. Let's test it. Let's see how many creatures I can summon. Without delay, Yu raised his head to the heavens. He opened his maw and exhaled a wave of spiritual sound. The next instant, a resonant dragon chant erupted, its reverberations forming countless rings of spiritual sound waves. Those circles of energy soared upward, dispersing across the starry void. Far away, several void beasts wandering the cosmos froze upon hearing the call. One of them spoke, "That is the summons of an emperor." Another replied, shock evident in its tone, "Not just any emperor." A third beast narrowed its eyes, which gleamed with white light. "The strongest emperor ever to exist." The spreading ripples of spiritual sound shook an entire expanse of the starry void. Moments later, from afar, a solitary void beast, known as the 18th Void Emperor, suddenly spoke, "It is the strongest emperor. Summoning me." Wings, the 36th Emperor. A fiery crimson beast opened its mouth and roared, "I am the 36th Emperor, named Wings." Then, another void beast, cloaked in a mysterious aura, spoke in a deep, grim voice. "I am Envy, the 3rd Emperor. I must see for myself who dares summon me." Among the void beasts who had heard the call, one seemed more experienced than the rest. It let out a cold warning. That roar was a declaration of war. If, when the time comes, he cannot create a colossal void gate large enough for countless void creatures to enter, and instead lets them burst into the world unchecked, leaving them free to ravage everything, then what awaits him will be the most terrifying backlash of the void itself. Yet Yuziyu remained oblivious, still lifting his head toward the heavens, continuing his void dragon roar to summon more void beasts. The beasts who heard his call were already rushing swiftly in his direction. But then, Yuziyu suddenly paused the summoning ritual. A trace of doubt crept into his heart. Looking out into the endless starry void, he frowned. Strange. Why is there not a single void beast before me? Could it be they are still on their way? Falling silent, Yuziyu realized grimly that from this day forward, not only would he have to contend with the sky race during the coming struggles, but he might also face the wrath of awakened Imperial weapons. Thinking of the Imperial weapon that the fallen Titan had mentioned, Yuziyu muttered to himself, not to mention. There's still the problem of whether I can even wield that Imperial weapon in the future. He then turned his gaze toward Iwear standing before him and asked, Iwear, tell me everything you know about the sky race. Bowing her head respectfully, Iwear replied yes. She began slowly, the sky race is a branch of the celestial angels, similar to them in many ways. The sky possesses 4 monarchs, among whom the strongest had already broken through to extraordinary rank 6 more than 10 years ago. Hearing this, Yuziyu furrowed his brows. Iwear continued calmly, but that is only the surface. Before I was captured by the Void Emperor, the sky had already expanded its ruling council to 7 monarchs. Yuziyu's curiosity stirred. In that case, was there a second rank 6 among them? Iwear revealed the lifeless narrow eye and answered, the city lord of the Sky City, the holy angel with the highest innate talent. He has an extremely high chance of breaking through to rank 6. Yuziyu fell into deep thought. So, there's an uncertain factor. For now, I can only assume he is already at rank 6. At that very moment, several void beasts suddenly appeared, howling ferociously. A huge question mark flashed across Yuziyu's mind. Slowly, he turned his head. But the beasts instantly closed their mouths shut the moment they saw him. Their gazes all converged on him. And then, in the blink of an eye, countless void beasts of every kind and race gathered in one place. They stood there motionless, as if waiting for Yuziyu's command. Seeing this scene, Yuziyu couldn't help but murmur, so many void creatures. If I gather them to attack the sky race, it will become a war unlike any in history. His eyes flickered with a cold gleam. But if I wish for war, I must act swiftly. With that thought, Yuziyu opened a massive void gate and commanded in a booming voice, all of you, enter into my void world. Yet even as he spoke, his mind grew solemn. I still need to summon more void creatures. At that moment, Yuziyu's voice echoed beside Iwear, it's about time they take the stage. As if understanding his intent, Iwear slowly raised her hand, which had been hanging at her side. Yuziyu glanced at her and spoke again, Iwear, I need you to handle a few tasks for me. She lifted her head, silently awaiting his orders. Yuziyu's tone was calm as he gazed into the starry heavens, help me find a few corpses. The moment his words fell, a deathly sigh manifested in the air. Iwear's eyes narrowed into a razor-thin slit, her gaze filled with killing intent as she replied coldly, yes. Standing motionless, her grip tightened on the long scythe, her expression dark and oppressive, like a death god waiting to claim souls.